Hey, Aquarius and Aquarius Rising. This horoscope is your guide to April 2025, and whether your sun is an Aquarius or Aquarius is on your ascendant, there's a lot in the sky you'll want to pay attention to. Now, quick heads up. If you don't know your rising sign, don't worry. You can check any astrology site. You just need your birth date, time, and birth location. But if that feels like too much trouble, just email me and I'll help you figure it out. In this forecast, we'll be looking at the actual areas of your life that are being activated by the planets, your houses. Think of each house like a room in your life: career, relationships, money, family, the deep inner stuff. It all lives somewhere in your chart. And this month, some of those rooms are getting a major renovation. What makes April special for you? Well, this month hits a unique balance between practical shifts and emotional clarity. You've got action around communication, finances, personal confidence, relationships, and some behind the scenes realizations that could change the way you move through the rest of the year. So, whether you're already neck deep in astrology or just curious what the universe has planned for you, this forecast is here to walk you through it, one real life moment at a time. Let's begin where the month starts stirring things up. Your second house, the house of money, income, resources, and self worth. This one is big for you in April. Mercury retrograde spends the first part of the month in Pisces, right there in your second house. And while Mercury retrograde gets a lot of dramatic headlines, for you, it's not about tech disasters or mistechs. It's about rethinking your relationship with money and value. If you've been feeling uncertain about how much you earn, how stable your finances are, or even how much your time and energy are really worth, that fog begins to lift once Mercury goes direct on April 7th. Around then, you might get clarity on something like a delayed payment, a confusing contract, or even an overdue conversation about financial fairness. Now, right after that, things get even more intense in this house. Around April 7th through the 20th, we've got Venus, Saturn, and the North Node all activating this same space. That's a major cosmic lineup, and it wants to know, are you taking yourself seriously? Are you actually building toward the kind of material life you want? Or are you undercharging, overspending, or just floating along? This is not just about dollars. It's about your value system, what you believe you're worth, and whether your life reflects that. If you've been hesitant to ask for a raise, to change jobs, to invest in yourself, this month might push you into that conversation. With Saturn here, it won't be fluffy, but it will be worth it. Now let's talk about your third house, where all the Aries energy is happening. That includes the solar eclipse and new moon in Aries on March 29th and Neptune entering Aries on March 30th. And that sets the tone for your entire April when it comes to communication, learning, tech, travel, and the way your mind works. The solar eclipse here is a big one. It's a cosmic reset button for how you think, how you express yourself, and how you connect to your everyday world. That could look like a new writing project, a radical shift in how you use your voice, or even unexpected news or ideas that change your mental direction entirely. And because this is the third house, we also can't rule out sibling dynamics, short trips, or daily communication glitches, especially with Mercury having just gone direct. So if something intense or surprising shows up through a conversation, a message, or even just a gut feeling, don't ignore it. This is a time to pay attention to how you tell your story and whether it needs rewriting. The third activated house this month is your seventh house of one-on-one relationships, and that kicks in with a roar around April 18th when Mars enters Leo. Let's be honest, this could stir up some drama. Mars in the seventh house isn't subtle. It brings energy, tension, desire, and sometimes a touch of conflict to your closest partnerships. This could be romantic, professional, or even an open rivalry, anyone you deal with directly, face to face. If there's a relationship that's been quietly simmering, Mars will turn up the heat. Sometimes that means passion. Sometimes that means arguments. But either way, it forces action. You'll want to ask yourself, is this connection helping me grow? Am I fighting to protect it or to leave it? The good news? Mars also brings courage. This is a powerful time to say what you really feel and stop pretending that everything's fine if it's not. It's bold energy. Use it wisely. So in this part of the chart, you're juggling money and self-worth, your communication and mindset, and your closest relationships. And the common theme? Clarity and confidence. You're being pushed to stop tiptoeing around the things that actually matter. Now that we've talked about money, communication, and relationships, let's head to a part of the chart that deals with something deeper: your eighth house. This area is about shared resources, intimacy, power dynamics, and transformation. Here's why it matters. The full moon in Libra on April 13th lands right in your eighth house. And full moons? They bring things to light. They expose, they reveal, and they sometimes end what no longer serves you. This could be a moment where a financial situation involving someone else, a partner, a loan, a contract, an inheritance, even a debt, comes to a head. Maybe you realize you've been carrying too much of someone else's load, financially or emotionally. Or maybe you see, with complete clarity, where the balance in a close relationship is off. But this house isn't just about money. It's also about emotional vulnerability, and this full moon could stir up trust issues, jealousy, or unspoken dynamics that need to be cleared. Not necessarily to cause drama, but to help you feel more empowered, more honest, and more in control of your emotional life. Then let's talk about your fourth house of home and family, because the sun enters Taurus on April 19, followed by a new moon in Taurus on April 27. That activates your private world, your living situation, your relationship with family, and your sense of stability. This is a new chapter moment in your domestic life. Maybe you're moving, redecorating, or reconsidering who you live with. Maybe you're just realizing your current home doesn't feel like home anymore. Emotionally, this is also a time to reconnect with your foundations, your roots, your upbringing, or even childhood patterns that still subtly shape how you handle adult life. The new moon offers a clean slate. How do you want to feel when you walk through your front door? Who do you want to share that space with? What do you need to feel safe and grounded? And now let's head to your 12th house, where Neptune enters Aries on March 30th, an energy that lingers through April and far beyond. The 12th house is the most hidden part of your chart. It rules your subconscious, dreams, mental health, and the parts of yourself that you don't always want to look at or even know are there. Neptune moving in here is a big deal. It can bring spiritual growth, increased intuition, and heightened emotional sensitivity, but also a little fog. You might find yourself craving more alone time, more rest, or feeling like something big is shifting beneath the surface, even if you can't quite name it yet. This isn't a loud, dramatic kind of energy. It's the quiet kind that can change you deeply over time. In April, it's just beginning, but it's the start of a long period of inner reflection, healing, and quiet revelations. So, to recap, April brings revelations around emotional intimacy and shared power, new beginnings in your home life, and the beginning of a long journey inward. The surface level stuff might look stable, but your inner world is stirring, and that's where the real magic and challenge lies. So, Aquarius, let's be honest, this month isn't gentle, but it's incredibly real. April 2025 is calling you back into alignment, not in some abstract spiritual sense, but in the very practical, lived in corners of your life. Your relationship with money, with your voice, with your closest people, and with your private emotional world, it's all under review. And you're being asked one simple but powerful question: does this version of life still fit you? Maybe you've been coasting in a relationship where things are fine on the surface but hollow underneath. Maybe you've been underestimating what you bring to the table at work. Maybe your home feels more like a holding space than a true sanctuary. This is the month those quiet dissonances start getting louder. There's a ripple effect happening. As you examine your values, not just what you say you value, but what you actually spend time, money, and energy on, you'll start seeing where things have been out of step. It's not about blowing it all up. It's about realignment. Maybe for the first time in a while, you'll find the courage to let something go, not out of anger or fear, but because it simply no longer reflects who you are. And if you're not totally sure who that is right now, that's okay. The 12th house energy with Neptune moving in means that part of your growth this month is happening quietly, behind the scenes, in your silence. In the way your body tenses when you hear a lie or softens when you finally tell the truth. That's wisdom. You don't need to explain it to anyone. You just need to feel it. This month isn't necessarily about big wins or dramatic shifts. It's more internal than that. But the clarity that starts to come through in April, it's going to shape your decisions in May and beyond. And while some of those decisions might feel tough in the moment, you'll look back and realize they were a turning point. So take your time, pay attention, and most of all, trust that discomfort doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're getting closer to something true. If this reading resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss next month's horoscope. And if you're not sure about your rising sign or want to go deeper into your personal chart, feel free to reach out. I'd love to help. Take care of yourself this month, Aquarius. Big things are quietly unfolding. We'll talk soon.